Good morning, guys. It is 20 to 8, and I'm off to train legs, which is going to be absolutely horrible. I'm not looking forward to it whatsoever, but I'm also really excited. Leg days are getting harder, but I'm 3 weeks out from my first show today. For anybody that didn't know, I'm competing at the UKDFBA British Championship on the 20th of September in the first time as novice division, which means technically I've only got 2 leg days after today, which is a nice thought. Obviously until show, I'll be straight back into it, but 3 more, including today, leg sessions before I compete. Bloody hell. It's going to be a training vlog. If you haven't watched the vlog I posted yesterday, that was a full day of eating at 4 weeks out, which obviously I filmed last weekend when I was 4 weeks out, but only had the time to edit it and upload it yesterday. And I do believe it's the best one I've created yet. So yeah, before you watch this one, go watch that one. I did receive a comment on it off some guy saying, "No offense, brother," something along the lines of, "Do you really think you're ready to compete in 4 weeks?" And I was sort of sat there and thought, I don't know, because obviously I've battled a lot in my head over recent weeks and months. Am I ready? Am I lean enough? All that stuff where you get in your own head and you sort of doubt yourself. But then I thought, this is my first show. I hold no expectations. Obviously I want to go in, do as best as I can, bring my best package on stage, and fingers crossed I do win or place well. But it's also my first show. It's my first time stepping on stage. I've never actually been to watch a bodybuilding show in person. Obviously I've watched fucking thousands online on YouTube, but this is solely for experience. And obviously I've put a lot of hard work into it, and I want to do the best I can on show day. But I've said this since the start of prep to everyone that I've spoke to about it. I could come dead last and people could be 10 times better than me on stage and pose better, have a better physique, have better conditioning, whatever it is. But all that'll do is make me hungrier. And then when I go into my off season in a month's time and I start gaining muscle and start eating and start training harder again, I will just bring a completely different and better package next year. And I will be vastly improved from the position I'm in now. No matter what, I will be. But yeah, I don't he wasn't trying to have a dig at me or anything. It was a genuine question by the sounds of it. And I just replied with, my coach is happy, I'm happy, and I've got absolutely zero worries. Because I spent probably the first, I've been on prep since the end of February, and it is now the start of September. It's a fucking long time to be dieting, and between me and my coach, we've taken it slow, and obviously given myself a load of time to do so. Just so if anything does arise in prep, then we could overcome it, get around it, any obstacles, whatever. And when was it? 6 weeks ago, I ended up changing jobs, which is quite a stressful thing to do. I went from a high stress environment working in kitchens, which I've done for the past 12 years, on and off, to now working in construction, which is obviously a very manual and hard graft job. So I've not really made it easy for myself, but I've still turned up every single day. I've not missed a meal. I've not missed a cardio session. I've done my steps every day. I've done my training sessions every day. And for the most part, obviously more so in the last 4 to 6 weeks, I have been absolutely battered every day. Like, I feel like absolute crap right now. I'm tired. I did actually sleep well last night. I think I got 6 hours, which is a lot better than what I have been getting recently. But I've just stayed on top of everything my coach has told me to do. I've done, and I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I mean, I'm not obviously not stage lean, stage ready right now, but I do believe in the next 3 weeks I'm going to look absolutely incredible. And whether or not I'm absolutely shredded on stage, but that's another thing. It's not all about being completely shredded. I mean, I could be stood next to some guy on stage who's absolutely got no skin, but he might also have no muscle. And I do believe I've built a solid foundation of muscle over the past 8 years of training. And as I've explained in other videos, a little catch-up sort of thing, I've been training for 8 years, only really taken bodybuilding seriously for the past 2, and I've only had a coach for the past... I think I signed up with my coach in September last year, so this will be 12 months of having a bodybuilding coach. So really, I've only been bodybuilding properly for 12 months. So to make the progress I have made and see the changes that I've seen in myself and my physique and my mindset is absolutely astronomical to me. I was writing in my daily gratitude journal this morning, which has now turned into sort of obviously what I'm grateful for, and sort of reminding myself of the little things every day, because obviously you focus on the good things will happen, and if you focus on the bad things, worse things will happen. So I try to focus on all the little good things that sort of went right in my day and what I plan to do on the day, and just stuff I'm grateful for. And it's now turned into me just writing down my feelings and how I'm feeling on prep. A little bit of a weird cut there. I was mid talking to the camera and my brain just decided to switch off, which is one of the worst things about prep, is prep brain. You can literally be doing something or talking and all of a sudden your brain just powers down, and I literally just found myself staring at the camera like this for a good 20 seconds before I realised that I'd stopped talking. So yeah, I sort of lost my train of thought. I had to stop recording and go back and watch what I'd said just so I could get back on track. But yeah, made insane progress, and I'm so proud of myself for where I've got to. A little bit of backstory, bit of lore for CJMLIFTS. I spent most of my life from being a very young teenager, as most people in the UK, we start drinking very early, like house parties and stuff like that, from the age of like 13, 14. Obviously found stuff like cannabis and other optional extras, so we should say, which took up a massive part of my life from, like I say, early teens right up to being 21, 22, where I just finally got to the point where I realised this isn't getting me anywhere. And I mean, that's a good... Actually, no, it was later than that. It's like 24, 25. I keep forgetting I turned 30 a couple of months ago. Like, life is just fucking... But I put a lot of that down to spending half my life doing what I was doing. So yeah, it was like 13, 14 years of heavy drinking, all that other stuff that comes along with it, and smoking cannabis daily for that entire time as well. I stopped drinking and stuff when COVID hit. I mean, obviously I've had a few... I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've drank since COVID hit, and all the other stuff just doesn't exist anymore to me. And I recently, last year, decided to quit smoking cannabis as well, which obviously I've had a few hiccups here and there, and sometimes I do enjoy having one just every now and again. If it's a social event, I'd rather do that than drinking. But yeah, it's from going from what I used to be, and anybody that knows me watching this will have a very good idea of how bad and what sort of path I was on. But I'm not going to go too deep into that in this video. Might do in a later one if people want to hear about it. But yeah, so going from that to living sober and pursuing my passion in bodybuilding is just crazy to me, because I remember being sat wherever I was, probably just sat on the sofa, and I used to just constantly tell myself that this isn't going to be me forever, I'm going to give it up. And it took a few years from the points when I started having that sort of mindset, but day by day I started implementing little things into my life and changing my daily habits, which obviously, as people who watch my videos know, is a massive thing for me. And it got me out of that hole I was digging myself into, and I needed to build a big fucking ladder to get myself out of it. But I climbed to the top, and now I'm rebuilding from ground level. Well, I'm not anymore. I've spent my last 2 years building up from ground level to get where I am now. And I'm now in a place where, as much as I used to manifest it and tell myself I was going to get there, and obviously a lot of the time I take this for granted, like this is my day-to-day life, and there's days where I'm like, I'm not doing enough, I'm bad at what I do, and all that negative shit that comes along with just, well, being human, basically. But this is one of the perks of daily gratitude journaling. You get to sort of sit back and reflect and just realise how far you've actually come. And I have absolutely come on leaps and bounds from where I was, and I am a completely different person to the person I was 2 years ago. And back then I was a different person from the person I was 2 years ago. And I think that's the whole point of life, which obviously I found out very late into my life, is that you just never stop growing, but you have to put the work in to propel yourself to these places. You can't just sit there and expect good things to happen to you, which I used to do. I used to think, I'll get a break one day, something good will just happen, and then that'll be it. That'll change my life and everything will be good. But I soon come to realise that it was me that had to put the work in. I had to get up off my arse and stop doing these things that were bad for me and start doing the things that were right for me, and start really focusing on training, focusing on better eating habits, healthier eating habits, and just cutting out all the vices that literally just don't get you anywhere. They're good at the time, they give you that cheap dopamine rush, and that's what you start chasing. You start chasing dopamine rushes throughout every day, and you've got to give up that instant gratification of, oh, this makes me feel good now, and you've got to sacrifice that for, I'm going to feel 100 times better in a month's time, in 6 months' time, 12 months' time. And as much as I've sacrificed, like, all my friends like to go out and drink, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If I wasn't on this path, I would probably go out and have a drink and celebrate. Well, I do usually on my birthday or Christmas, whatever. But you've got to sacrifice a lot. Like, I went from being out all weekend, every weekend, and to be fair, most weeknights as well for the most part, to now I never go out. I still obviously try and socialise and see friends. They'll either come round our gaff or go around and see them when I get the time. But bodybuilding takes up so much of my time, which I think people don't realise when you're prepping 5 meals a day every day, getting in, I'm close to an hour of cardio a day. I've got to get steps in, I've got to go to the gym, I've got to go to my job. And on top of all that, it just doesn't leave me a lot of time to do stuff, which I absolutely love. I think the simple, quiet life is something I've always craved. And now that I'm here mentally, I am the best I've been in years. Well, probably the best mentally I've ever been in my life. I can't remember a time in my life where I've been this sort of confident in myself, so proud of myself and happy with how things are going. And it's only going to continue to get better from here, which ties into my point before about competing. No matter what happens on stage in 3 weeks, I'm going to go into my off season. I'm going to implement what needs to be implemented. I'm going to grow, I'm going to gain more quality tissue, more muscle, I'm going to learn better habits, and I'm going to just continue learning and growing all the way through the off season. And then when I do start prep next year, I'm going to be in a completely better position than when I started prep this year, because obviously I'd got to a good place having my coach for a good... I'd started my bulk on my own. Obviously I was umming and ahhing about getting a coach. I didn't know if I could afford it and all the rest of it, until I realised that you've got to invest in things that are better for your future. Like, I was spending money on crap, and I don't even know what, but money just never seemed to stretch far. But now all my money literally goes into, obviously, after paying my rent and bills and car insurance, all that stuff, it just goes into bodybuilding. I will do a video, maybe post-show or somewhere around my show, just detailing how much the bodybuilding prep costs and the stuff that goes into it, for people that don't know or haven't experienced it before. Obviously it's my first time, but I've spent years watching other people do it on YouTube, so I've always had an idea. But yeah, you just gotta... But yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. This is the life I want for myself. Being on prep is a privilege. I chose to do this, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made, and I'm going to be doing this for, well, I mean, life does change and things might happen, but I see myself doing this for at least the next 10 years. I mean, I'll always be involved in resistance training, fitness, the gym, some form of bodybuilding, whether I give up competing, whenever it is in the next few years or whatever. I will always be involved in keeping myself healthy, and I will do that until I literally can't do it anymore. Just for the benefits it's given me in such a short period of time. But yeah, I feel like I've waffled on a little bit, but I just wanted to sort of talk about how I'm feeling and get some thoughts off my mind, because I started journaling this morning, and like, I usually just write little, not like notes, but little things I'm grateful for, what I want to achieve, and whatever. But I've now started like sort of pouring my feelings out onto paper, and I do believe if you do struggle with overthinking and you don't have, and you feel like you have no way of getting it out, just buy a notepad. I just bought 5 off Amazon last week for like 5 A5 notepads with like 300 pages in each, and it was like £8 for 5 of them. Just start writing down. It might not have to make sense and there'd be no structure to it, but just if you've got thoughts that you need to get out of your head, write them down. And honestly, it's crazy how much it'll clear your mind. I've always been a chronic overthinker, but since doing this, I think just getting them out of your head and onto paper, it does sort of, I mean, obviously they're still there, but just getting them out takes a lot of power out of them. And my mind has never been more clear and more focused than it is right now. But yeah, I mean, I literally just said like 3 minutes ago that I was rabbiting on too much, and then just carried on talking again. So we're going to get to the gym, because I've now been sat in my car for like 25 minutes. And the neighbours will probably start thinking, what's he doing? So yeah, off to the gym, and I will see you there for the legs. See you in a bit.
I can't. You can't? Are you fucking kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to fucking bitch slap that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't have time for people that are weak and they say I can't. No, you can. You will. It doesn't take a fucking scientist to fucking logically understand what I'm saying. The more you put in, the more you get out. So stop fucking making excuses. Get out there and do whatever the fuck it takes to reach your fucking goals. You are wasting my fucking time. You are wasting your time. And you're pissing me off. And let me tell you why. Because you have a negative mentality. You're weak-minded, and you're never gonna accomplish your goals. Because I'm telling you right now what you need to do, and you're telling me you can't do it.
that was my leg day, 3 weeks out from my first show. Sorry about the quality of the training footage, lighting shit in the gym. I film on my phone, really need to start taking my vlogging camera with me, but keep forgetting. But yeah, good session, and I'm feeling surprisingly good. I trained delts and arms yesterday, and I felt worse after that than I did after legs today, which is weird. I'm usually dead to the world at this point. I went to Aldi after the gym. Obviously stocked up my food shop for the week, which is costing me roughly 60-65 quid at the minute. It's just the essentials: steaks, lean beef mince, chicken, rice, potatoes, veg. I don't actually get much more than that. The only thing I did get that I haven't got in a while is some apple cider vinegar, which I'm going to start implementing in the mornings for various benefits. I am going to wrap the video up here though, as I haven't eaten. I left the gym about an hour, just over an hour ago, an hour 20 minutes ago. Obviously, if you'd have watched my video yesterday, my post-workout meal is 60 grams of Cocoa Pops, 50 grams trained by JP, Performance ISO whey, and a banana, 100 grams of banana, which I need to go and eat because, I mean, I do feel really good considering, but I mean, my energy levels are starting to drop and I'm feeling myself starting to feel a bit shitty. So I'm going to go and eat my post-workout meal, get this video edited and uploaded. So hopefully it'll be on sometime this afternoon. I followed my session with 45 minutes on the treadmill at 2.6 miles an hour, just getting some steps in because the weather looked a bit gloomy, so I thought I'd best get some steps in case it does rain later on. But now the sun's come out, so I will probably get some more steps in at some point. And I've still got 25 minutes of cardio to do, which I will do this afternoon, but obviously that won't be in my video. I'll just do it and then get the rest of my meals in and have a chilled evening, because, well, it's the weekend and I'm going to just sit back and enjoy myself. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And if you enjoyed the video, go back and watch other ones I've posted, and there will be more and more to come. I might do another one tomorrow, as I was just flicking through Instagram this morning when I was having my first meal, and Gasp and Better Bodies are doing a meet and greet thing at Ultraflex Durham tomorrow. It's a 2-hour drive from me, where I live. But I think I'm going to go. It's free entry from 10 till 4, so you can go and train, meet, mingle with people, and obviously meet some Gasp athletes, which looks pretty good. We do have a deadlift competition going on tomorrow. One male and one female. Winner gets like a $250 or £1 gift card for Gasp, which is pretty cool considering I'm literally wearing my new Gasp mesh shorts, which you will have seen in my training footage, but they are pretty good. It's the first bit of Gasp clothing I've actually ever bought. I have a mesh OG shorts, I think they are, in black and grey, and they are really good, and I will be buying more from Gasp. It's a shame I can't take part in the deadlift competition tomorrow, as I could probably barely do 2 plates in the condition I'm in right now. But yeah, I'm going to drive there, I think, in the morning, so that might make a good vlog. 3 vlogs in one weekend. What a show that'd be. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate every single one of you, and have a good Saturday.